Hello. My name is Annie, and today I'm doing my cash stuffing for the month of June. I hope you've all been well. It's starting to get cold here in Sydney. But that being said, I'm a bit weak when it comes to the cold, the chills. So hopefully you're not feeling it as badly as I am. So today I've got $5,705 to stuff into my envelopes. Let's count it up. 1,500, 2,500, 3,500, 3,750, $4,000. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, $5,000. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 550, 600, 650, 70, 90, 705. 4,000, 5,705. So let me get that put out on a tray. So first things first, taxes. It's end of financial year, end of this month. So I've got to organise my taxes. I have 1,800 going in. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,500, $5,000. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. 5,700 in taxes. And so that's it for the quarter. Superannuation also needs to be deposited before the end of the month. So I'm going to do that. It's going to get $750. So I have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,500. That's nice. So that's salary sacrifice for the year. I need to get my superannuation up. The goal is to have it basically at $100,000 and just let it grow from there, because you pretty much get exponential growth after 100,000. So, it's super easy to make money when you have money. Yeah, like that's how the rich get wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. So I need to pump this. Bills and utilities is getting its regular $500. So I have 500, 1,000, 100, 200, 20, 25, $1,225. My winter bills aren't very high. I actually have really good insulation in my home. New build, new apartment. And while there are a lot of problems with new apartments in Australia, I actually feel like the heat insulation for winter is not one of them. For example, like I'm just looking over at my thermostat over there and it's reading 21 degrees Celsius. So although it's very windy outside, it's howling, I've got all my doors and windows closed, it's pretty good. I actually did receive my bill for the last month, electricity, and it was significantly lower than my summer bills. It gets very hot here in summer though. Council rates, you're getting $100. So 110, I just paid this a few days ago. Strata levy is going to get $300. I also paid this a few days ago. I'm on the same billing cycle. 100, 200, 300, $410 for strata. Medical is getting $100. We've got 100, 200, 300, 350, 370 in medical. Business is also getting $100. End of financial year sales for business stuff is just not a thing anymore. I think since COVID happened, the need to stock up business supplies, I think has really dwindled across nearly all industries. So I'm actually finding that if I just wait for like a regular sale during, the regular calendar year, I'm pretty much spending the same amount. So rather than just buying everything in one group and then having to keep it in the office, I think I'm starting to move towards a more seasonal buying pattern. But I have $100, $200, $300, $400, $20, $40, $440 in business. That'll basically cover the accounting fee. Maybe. Who knows? With inflation, it goes up every year, right? I don't have to go see my accountant for this end of financial year stuff until, I think, October. So I have time. Savings is getting its regular $500. So now I have $5,000, $6,000, $6,500 in savings. I've got $600 in cash, which needs to go back to bank. My emergency fund sits at $15,000. I'd love to add to this at some point. Groceries and eating out. It's getting a minimized spend this month of $500 rather than $600. Why? Because I need to put the money somewhere else. Splurge is getting its regular $200. I note that I didn't give it anything last month. I just used my birthday money to put in here. So I've got 500, 6, 7, 8, 900, 920, 930, 935. I think I'm going to have to use some splurge money. I've already spent a lot of money and it's already 1 week in to June, right? Not July. Home is getting a whopper. It's getting $385. 1, 2, 3, 50, 70, 80, 85. $385. So I've got 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. $450. And I'm going to tell you, I've already spent this. I've come to the realization that I need to buy storage options for my little apartment. My place is just looking too cluttered. It's stuffed. It's stuffed. And a lot of people come over and they're like, no, it's fine. You should see my place. And I'm like, I know, but I can't deal with the visual clutter because my mind is so cluttered with my ADHD brain. So I actually need my home to be visually clean, yes, as a sign that everything is right. And I'm getting to the point where I just don't have the space, the flow for that to happen. So I've actually purchased one of those very large outdoor containers. It hasn't arrived yet, but it's going to go on my balcony. I have an 11 square meter balcony. So as ugly as the thing is, it's going to have to live out there. It's going to ruin the millennial aesthetic. I also bought things like a large shopping trolley. Not a granny trolley, yeah? Why not? Because granny trolleys just don't fold up, yeah? So I don't have a lot of space and my cupboards are full and over teeming. So I bought one of those, like it looks like a full-on shopping trolley, like a supermarket trolley, but it's foldable and it's got 2 layers on it. And it actually arrived yesterday and I'm putting it outside on my balcony. So that's going to take up no space virtually because I've got it leaning up against my wall and my couch. So that's great. I also went and bought some new bedding. Now, hear me out on this. I bought a linen quilt cover. And I know linen is more geared towards summer, but I've just changed over my bedding to my winter quilt. So I sleep with wool quilt the whole year round. Like I have a thinner one for summer and a thicker one for winter. Now this winter is already a bit colder than last year, because last year I didn't feel the need at all to change over to winter bedding, and this year it's just been a little bit cold inside. So I've swapped over to the very thick, I think it's like a 500 or 700 GSM wool quilt, and it's a bit heavy, so I've just kind of counterbalanced that with the linen quilt cover. But there's a whole story with that I will say for another time. Basically, I bought the color, it was a bit neutral, and yeah, I didn't really like it, but I fixed it. Yeah, but mostly storage options. Storage boxes are very expensive. My trolley was very expensive. But, apartment living, right? Sometimes you just need to get what you get. Yeah. Anyway, $450 and it's still not enough. So I'm going to do something about that later. Family is going to get $50. So I got 50, 100, 10, 15, 115. Gifts and hosting is getting skipped. It's got 120. Overspending. This is what I'm going to do. I have $100 in overspending, and immediately I'm going to go put this into home and miscellaneous. So now in home and miscellaneous, I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 450, 500, 520, 30, 40, 45, 50, 550 in home and miscellaneous. Yeah. Clutter, 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 clutter. One day I will show you my apartment. It's very small. I tell you a lot that it is very, very small. Like internally, I have 50 square meters, which is basically the legal requirement minimum that you need if you need a bank to loan you money, right? Some Australian banks will not loan you money for a mortgage if your apartment is smaller than 50 square meters internally. In fact, some of the big banks won't even lend you money to buy for a studio apartment. So no bedroom wall. It's just one whole open plan situation. So I have to really maximize everything, every piece of furniture I have. So some of my furniture is not my ideal choice, but, it houses my stuff. So Never the Bride. This is getting $100. Oh God, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900. Now, my best friend texted me a couple days ago, and she was like, "Do you want to get ready together for this thing? So like hair and makeup in the city." And I was like, in the city. Turns out she's going to do a staycation whole thing, like 3 days in a hotel, probably like the Shangri-La or something, or the Four Seasons, for this wedding. And I was like, excuse me? You live like less than 10 Ks away from the Sydney CBD. I live like 20 kilometers out from the Sydney CBD. And even then, it's not a slog to get home. Yeah? And so whatever, she's making a mini holiday out of this. I was like, you already live in the inner west, darling. I was just planning on Ubering it back home that night. It's not going to cost me a lot of money, right? I imagine even at peak, on a Saturday night late, $70, $80 for a night out, and that's already in the budget, right? But yeah, I'm not staying in a hotel because that would necessitate one, needing to pay for a hotel, and two, the bigger thing that I hate, packing. You got to pack a suitcase just for like one night or 2 nights. Ridiculous. I feel like you always have to pack your whole house when you're getting ready for an event because there's your clothes, there's an iron or steamer, garment steamer, there's your change of clothes, there's your shampoos and all of that stuff. It's just easier to come home and sleep in my own bed. Yeah, so I might actually have to, up this budget a bit. The grooms called me and earlier in the week, and yeah, they were like, we want you to come get ready with us. That's the thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to work out the logistics of it. Luckily, they have learned from everyone else's wedding, and they're like, we're not having a morning wedding. Yes. The other one doesn't get out of bed until like 10, 11 a.m. So on a weekend. So it's going to have to be an afternoon wedding. I was like, oh, thank God, because it takes hours to get ready for a wedding. Yeah. Yeah. So luckily I can work something out. I can just Uber in and Uber out. Father's Day. Father's Day is getting $50. So now I have $100 for Father's Day. My dad has already started hinting. He's like, my birthday's coming up. Father's Day is coming up. I was like, yes. I know. Plus, I am the most organized of, yes, my parents' children. So, brothers, right? If you don't organize for them, it doesn't happen. I don't know what I'm going to get him. Yeah. Oh, this savings challenge is available on my Etsy store if you're interested. Yeah, I don't know. Retired people are really hard to shop for. I know. I have no idea. I will probably do a last minute panic, as I always do. The Make This Year Your Year challenge, I scratched off $20. So $20 is going in. 50, 70, 90, 95. And finally, next month is getting $250. So I got $500, $750, $1,000. Yeah, this is just for when I have a low pay month. Ideally, I just would like to cover one whole month's mortgage. Speaking of mortgages, it's going down by, 60 something bucks because of the rate cut. So from next month, my mortgage drops down a little bit. Yeah. It's nice that it's coming down after the 13 rate rises, which honestly, the 13 rate rises added an extra $15,000 a year to my mortgage repayments. And it kind of really, really hurt. As you can see, my savings really dwindled for a bit. I'm still in the early stages of my mortgage, and in the first 5 to 8 years, really, most of your mortgage is just interest. So if you can chip away at the interest, which is what I'm trying to do with my offset account. So that's why I stuff digitally. So if I keep money in my offset account, I reduce my interest payments and more of my repayment goes to the principal. It really makes a big difference, amortized over the years. I think about 1/3 of my monthly mortgage repayment actually goes off paying the principal, and the rest is just interest, which is unbearable, but I mean, I'm getting by. I'm getting by. I basically I'm having like a full mental meltdown with the apartment right now. I just need it to be clean. I need it to be cluttered free. I need to get rid of the stacks of stuff just piling up. I just need it fixed. And I need just storage options, even though it's ugly. I have spent a significant amount of time going online and kind of browsing new furniture pieces, which may need to come in as replacements. I just need things like more drawer storage. Again, I don't have a lot of space, and I've shown you my kitchen. If you've seen the pantry video I put up, like there's virtually no storage space in these modern apartments, and I have more than the average apartment. But if you want to cook and save money, you got to buy things like a rice cooker. You got to have things like a pressure cooker, an instant pot. Yes, that's what helps you save money, cooking at home, right? But cooking at home requires tools, and tools require space. Hopefully my storage box arrives in the next few days. I think there might be some mild construction. I have gone full nesting mode. It's colder, so I'm staying indoors at night. And again, just being indoors makes me look at everything and I start getting a little bit of brain rage. I also hung up my artwork over my bed. Finally, it's only been like 4 years. Many holes were made in the walls. Even though I had stud finders, I had laser levelers, I had regular levels. It was a whole situation. Anyway, I might show you when all is said and done. But that's been the budget for June. I hope you've all been well, stay warm, and I'll see you next time. Bye.